The film begins during the Vietnam War in 1968. In the thick jungle, heavy rain pours down with thunder and lightning. A Green Beret platoon moves silently through the dense canopy. The soldiers' faces are drenched with sweat and tension. The radio is filled with static, and signals keep breaking in and out. Captain Hayes orders his men to advance slowly. Suddenly, a soldier's scream echoes from within the tree line. The squad panics and raises their weapons. A shadow-like figure darts past with lightning speed. The soldiers take cover and open fire, but then a creature appears in front of them. Seeing it, one of the soldiers fires in terror, but the creature charges forward and attacks, killing him brutally. The screen then cuts to black, and the title card flashes Primitive War. Now we see helicopters flying across the sky as the military lands in a village where people are scattered everywhere in distress. Women and children immediately rush toward the soldiers, and among them, a woman mentions that her husband was killed by some kind of demon, one with feathers. Her trembling voice sends a chill through the air, and even the battle-hardened soldiers exchange uneasy glances, sensing that this might be more than just a frightened villager's tale. The soldiers begin patrolling the area, and as night falls, they engage in a fight with a hidden force inside the jungle. By morning, the survivors are evacuated. The scene then shifts to the Saigon military base, where Colonel Jericho gives a classified briefing. Present in the room is the elite recon team known as Vulture Squad, Sergeant Ryan Baker, the battle-hardened leader, Xavier Wise, the strategic second-in-command, Eli Taylor, the heavy gunner with a streak of sarcastic humor, Charlie Miller, the demolition expert, rookie Leon Verne, young and eager, sniper Gerald Keyes along with Logan Stovall, and medic Franklin Wade. Jericho informs them that a Green Beret platoon has disappeared in an isolated valley. Their mission is to locate those soldiers and gather intelligence on enemy activity. Jericho deliberately withholds certain details, only warning them that the valley is off-limits, and that something exists there which is unlike normal combat. Baker remains calm but suspicious, while Leon, filled with excitement, asks if it is the NBA. Jericho responds coldly that it is worse. At night, helicopters fly in to drop the Vulture Squad. The pilot reports that the compass is malfunctioning and magnetic anomalies are unusually high. After landing, the soldiers immediately notice strange signs: large claw marks slashed across the trees and massive three-toed footprints on the ground, bigger than those of an elephant or an ostrich, yet clearly reptilian. They also find a single giant feather. Franklin Wade examines the footprints and remarks that this belongs to no known animal. An eerie silence hangs over the jungle. As they move forward, they begin to sense a strange presence in the hills, and then suddenly a creature attacks one of the soldiers. The soldier fires blindly, but the creature vanishes back into the darkness. After this, we see a group of Russian forces patrolling through the jungle. As they advance, one soldier, Alexander, falls behind. Out of nowhere, a creature leaps from behind and bites his head clean off. When his comrades find only his gun, they follow the trail of blood and soon discover Alexander's body, drenched in blood. Believing that the Americans are responsible for his death, they decide to track them down and kill them. Meanwhile, the American soldiers continue their march and enter a cave that turns out to be an abandoned Green Beret outpost, where the corpses of many soldiers lie scattered. As they are inspecting the site, giant bird-like creatures suddenly emerge and attack. The soldiers fire back and, after a desperate struggle, manage to fight their way out of the cave. It is here that they realize these creatures are actually dinosaurs. Out in the jungle, the soldiers hear the screeching of more of these bird-like beasts, and then a gigantic dinosaur crosses their path. In the chaos, Sergeant Baker and Leon become separated from the others. As they press on, they stumble upon a gigantic dinosaur sleeping soundly. They are still frozen in astonishment when a group of smaller dinosaurs suddenly arrives, chittering loudly. The noise awakens the mother dinosaur, who rises with a thunderous growl. The entire pack advances to attack. The soldiers open fire, but the giant dinosaur seems almost bulletproof. They flee through the dense jungle, yet the massive beast still manages to catch up, letting out a deafening roar. By the next morning, the soldiers are weary and shaken, still haunted by the presence of these relentless dinosaurs, while Sergeant Baker and Leon remain on the run from the gigantic predator. Hiding carefully, the sergeant distracts the creature with a bomb and makes a break for it with Leon. They reach the edge of a cliff where a river flows far below. With no other choice, both leap into the water, and the dinosaur plunges in after them, crashing into the river with a tremendous splash. On the riverbank, a mysterious woman named Sophia appears and helps them climb out, as Leon has lost consciousness. Sergeant Baker and Sophia work quickly to revive his breathing. Around them, enormous dinosaurs roam the misty landscape. After recovering, the three set off together. Meanwhile, the rest of the soldiers continue their march, encountering countless dinosaurs of different shapes and sizes along the way.
Turn this whole thing into a goddamn park. That's Eli's.
Sophia leads them to her hidden underground bunker. Leon tries to contact headquarters through the radio. After some time, they all step back outside. Baker is in disbelief, while Leon is terrified. Elsewhere, the remaining soldiers come face to face with the Russians. Initially, both teams mistake each other for the enemy, and a firefight erupts. Suddenly, a monstrous roar cuts through the chaos and freezes everyone in place. A pack of Utah raptors, twice the size of normal raptors, with black-striped skin and saber-like claws, bursts through the tree line. The Americans and Russians are forced to call a truce and fight side by side. One Utah raptor leaps onto Gerald, who manages to stab the creature with his bayonet at the last second, but another raptor tears into his leg. Together, they rush the wounded soldier back to Sophia's hideout, where treatment begins. During this, Sophia retrieves a vial of medicine and injects herself, which Sergeant Baker notices. In the conversation that follows, Sophia reveals that she is a scientist and was once part of a secret Soviet experiment. She explains that the valley contains a USSR particle collider used for wormhole experiments. During one test, the portal accidentally pulled dinosaurs from the prehistoric era into the present. The government abandoned the project, but the portal remains unstable. Sophia warns that if the collider is triggered again, dinosaurs could spread across the entire world. Soon, the sound of dinosaurs approaching the bunker echoes through the jungle. Soldiers take positions, aiming their weapons at every possible entrance. Suddenly, numerous dinosaurs begin forcing their way inside through windows, vents, and doors. The soldiers fight back with intense gunfire, but eventually a giant dinosaur smashes through the heavy main door and charges in. Panic spreads among the soldiers, as it should. Everyone wants to escape, but none of them are willing to leave their injured comrade behind. Realizing the danger, the wounded soldier insists that the others leave so they will not die because of him. Once the soldiers make it out of the bunker, a dinosaur moves in close to the injured man. In a final act of sacrifice, he detonates an explosive, killing himself along with the dinosaurs trapped inside the bunker. In the morning, all the survivors board a boat to cross the ocean, where countless dinosaurs can be seen in the distance. Baker's group forms a plan with Sophia to reach the collider facility and destroy the portal once and for all. During the journey, a massive crocodile-like predator attacks their boat, but they narrowly escape. Dinosaurs can be seen swimming through the waters around them. Night falls as they reach the other side of the jungle, where the bodies of fallen comrades lie scattered. Suddenly, a swarm of flying dinosaurs swoops down and attacks the soldiers, killing many of them. The fierce fight continues until dawn. The remaining survivors regroup deeper inside the jungle. When Logan is left alone and a dinosaur advances toward him, he shoots himself to avoid being eaten alive. Immediately, a pack of dinosaurs descends upon his body, tearing it apart as the other survivors use the distraction to escape. By nightfall, we see Baker with the rest of the survivors. Baker contacts Jericho, informing him about the dinosaur catastrophe and pleading for backup. The group gathers their weapons and moves forward until they finally reach the collider facility, a rusting Soviet complex where the power generators are still humming. Inside, flashing red lights illuminate broken consoles and a massive particle chamber. The survivors fight their way through the interior, killing the guards as they advance. Rogue Soviet scientist Borodin, along with his workers, is inspecting the area when they come across the dead body of a baby dinosaur. Moments later, the enraged parent dinosaur appears, blaming the humans for its offspring's death and charging at them, throwing the facility into chaos. Borodin escapes into the inner chamber, where he has been secretly continuing the experiments. Obsessed and delusional, he declares that dinosaurs will reset mankind's evolution. Sophia desperately tries to reason with him, but Borodin activates the portal's core. A violent energy surge follows, and through the facility's windows, the survivors can see multiple dinosaur species being drawn toward the site. Baker orders his team to plant explosives, but Jericho arrives with his soldiers in a helicopter and, through the wireless, commands Baker to secure the perimeter instead of destroying the portal. Borodine, now wounded, tries to emotionally manipulate Sophia by reminding her of her late husband, but she ignores his words and shuts down the system, leaving only a dim red glow in the chamber. Just as a group of dinosaurs, wreathed in flames, begins to force its way inside through one escape route, the survivors follow Sophia's instructions and flee through another. Borodine rises once more, attempting to reactivate the system, but before he can, a dinosaur lunges at him and bites his head off. Chaos erupts inside the facility's corridors. Raptors crawl in through the ventilation shafts, their reflective eyes glowing menacingly in the red emergency lights, creating a nightmarish sight. A soldier provides sniper cover, but a raptor drops from the ceiling and grabs him. From within the flames, the enraged roars of the creatures echo through the metallic halls. The remaining survivors emerge from the escape tunnel just as Jericho lands nearby with reinforcements. Behind them, a swarm of dinosaurs charges in pursuit. In the pouring rain, an intense battle erupts between soldiers and dinosaurs, with heavy casualties on both sides. In the final showdown, Baker confronts a gigantic, one-eyed raptor known as Cyclops, the very same dinosaur whose eye Gerald had stabbed earlier. The fight unfolds inside the claustrophobic reactor chamber. Cyclops pounces on Baker, who uses his combat knife, and memories of all his fallen comrades flash through his mind, and with one final act of resolve, he detonates the bomb, killing both himself and the dinosaur while triggering a massive system explosion. Final blasts ignite roaring fires, and amid the chaos, 3 helicopters lift off, carrying the surviving members to safety. The next morning, we see dinosaurs roaming peacefully throughout the valley, moving freely as if nothing had happened. Meanwhile, aboard the helicopter, the survivors remain tense and uneasy as Jericho scolds the soldiers for destroying the system, insisting that shutting down the machine will not end the threat of the dinosaurs. But through the windows, they can all see countless dinosaurs are already on the move. This means that many of them escaped the valley before the portal fully collapsed. Back at the camps, people watch in awe as massive herds of dinosaurs migrate out of the valley. Some cheer and appear happy, amazed by the sight of these prehistoric creatures spreading into the world. Yet beneath the wonder lies a chilling truth. The danger is far from over. The dinosaurs are moving toward unknown lands, and wherever they go, they could become a deadly threat to anyone who crosses their path. With this unsettling realization, primitive war comes to an end.